Hello guys and welcome back to the second episode of Animanga Catharsis. This week we'll be talking about one of my favorite animes ever, Mob Psycho 100, which just had its final episode last Wednesday. We'll be talking about that, about whether you should watch it or not, but we'll also be talking about the manga and the plot in general, so if you haven't watched it yet, I'd recommend for you to only listen to the first part of the episode, because I might spoil you. So, without any further ado, let's start. If you are a new anime fan, or if you've somehow been living under a rock for the past 6 years, you might have not watched Mob Psycho 100 yet. But if you're looking for a divine sign to start watching it, this is that sign. Don't think about it. Go press play right now. I promise you will not regret it. This anime will literally change your life. The Mob Psycho anime started in 2016, and it follows the story of this little boy named Shigeo Kageyama, but like literally almost everyone calls him Mob, who is just an average little dude. He goes to school with his younger brother, he has a crush on a girl, he joins a club, he has a part-time job, he's just a regular guy, he's normal, he's average. So you might be asking, where's the twist in the story? Well, turns out Mob isn't as average as he looks. He's a psychic, he's got powers. He can fight evil spirits, he can destroy entire cities, he's really strong. But most of the times, he refuses to use those powers because he might end up hurting his loved ones, because he has in the past. And obviously he doesn't want to do it again. And as a result, he ends up repressing most of his emotions. The bad ones, but also the good ones. And with time, those emotions start piling up within him, and he can go from 1% to 100%. Once he reaches 100%, he sort of explodes, and that's when he becomes unable to control both his powers and his emotions. He gets all dangerous, crazy, and scary, but like in a cool way. I don't know, it's really amazing. I don't want to spoil the story for those of you who haven't watched it yet, so I won't discuss in detail the rest of the characters or the rest of the arcs. I just want to tell you guys something. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, if you're a girl, if you're a grown man. You will end up loving this story. It will help you cure your depression. I'm not even joking. It's just that good. It's really wholesome. It has a very satisfying ending. It only has 3 seasons. I wish it was longer, but sadly, that's it. We're not getting more. They animated the entire manga, except for the omakes and one short spin-off story. And they didn't announce anything extra once the final episode ended. They might do it, but honestly, I don't think they will. Okay, so one of the things I've heard people complain about Mob Psycho is the art style. I don't know if you're familiar with the mangaka. His pen name is One. He also wrote One Punch Man. And he's got a, let's say, particular art style. It's very unique. And if I'm being honest, it was one of the reasons I didn't read the manga when it was being published. Because his art style has nothing to do with the pretty boys we've grown accustomed to seeing in both anime and manga. So I kind of get it if you think they're sort of ugly at first. But don't let that keep you from watching it, because 1, you'll quickly get used to it, and at some point you won't even notice it anymore. And 2, it's part of its charm. Plus, if you're watching the anime, Studio Bones did a pretty good job with the animation, so don't worry. In short, do I recommend watching Mob Psycho 100? Yes, absolutely. Should you read the manga first? I mean, not necessarily. Both anime and manga are nearly identical. I do recommend the manga as much as I recommend the anime. It's quite funny. The mangaka's art style makes it even funnier, like I said. But if you're not a manga person, or if you're not into his art style, you can totally skip it, no problem. But both are 10 out of 10 in my opinion, and Mob Psycho 100 is easily in my top 5 animes of all time. easily. Let's talk about the final episode now. Let's talk about the final arc. If you haven't watched it yet, spoiler alert, I guess. Take off your headphones. I don't want to be the one who ruins it for you. Anyway, I finished reading the manga probably around 2018, and because I've been super busy, I haven't read it again since. And to be honest, thank God. I forgot almost everything. I obviously remembered some important scenes, like Mob's accident, him destroying the city, Dimple's comeback, Reagan confessing the truth. I remembered all of those scenes, but I forgot about almost everything else. And to me, it felt like experimenting it all for the first time. I fell in love with the final arc all over again. The animation was obviously top tier, but mostly big respect to the guys who worked on the background music, because they made the scenes that were already good to be extraordinary. That scene where Mob gets hit by a car and the kid's video game keeps playing the song in the background while Mob starts bleeding out, it gave me the chills. It was awesome. The first opening playing while Reagan was trying to get to Mob. It's a classic, okay? It's almost a cliche. Lots of animes do this, but it still works on me. Every time I cried actual tears. I literally cried. Please tell me I wasn't the only one. Don't make me feel pathetic. I do have something to say though. It was so weird for me to see Mob cry, to see Mob laugh in the final scene. Obviously that was kind of the point, but as a viewer who's seen Mob repressing his emotions for such a long time, seeing him expressing them so freely was weird for me. But at the same time, it was also very satisfying because that's it. That's his character development coming to an end. That's the story showing us that Mob is leaving behind everything that hurt him in the past, and he's moving forward. He's accepting himself as he is, the good things and the bad things. He's on his way to become a great adult. I don't know. Hearing Reagan telling him that accepting himself was fine because everyone, literally every single person on earth has flaws, and that he needed to stop punishing himself for it. And then when Mob starts telling his dark side, that he was ready to accept its existence, but that in exchange it also needed to accept the fact that Mob had a good side too. Like, for me, it felt too real. It felt too good. It was great. I'm really glad Studio Bones animated the entire story. I'm glad that I got to watch it until the very end. Because let's be real, there's a bunch of animes out there that will never ever get their final arc animated. But Mob Psycho 100 did. Anyway, I feel like we should wrap up today's episode. Tell me what you thought about Mob Psycho's finale, if you liked it, if you didn't, leave a comment. I also wanted to remind you that we're at the end of the year, and you know what it means. Both the anime industry and the manga industry will take a very well-deserved break. And I figured that since there won't be much to talk about during this time, I will also be taking a break. But I will come back next year once the winter season starts. Let me know what animes you're watching. Personally, I can't wait to see the second season of Tokyo Revengers. I'm really excited. But I will be following some others too. We'll probably be talking about that. But until then, happy holidays. Happy New Year. As usual, wear a mask. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be kind. And I will see you next time. Bye.